Hi and welcome. My name's Kyle and I'm grateful to have you. This is your direct message to stop questioning your feelings, to just feel them. To not need a reason to validate or invalidate why you're feeling them, but just to feel them. I feel like as a society, we could survive from a couple less whys in our daily life. Why are you feeling that way? Why do you look like that? Why are you smiling? I just am. It is very natural for humans to want to categorize and organize things. And to do that, you ask questions. The mind wants to categorize and the body wants to feel. And yes, you can connect the mind and the body, but you can't be fully present in either at both times. You have to choose. In the past, your mind has associated these strong feelings with bad things, traumatic things happening to you, and not knowing if you would be able to survive them. But you survived all of those things, and now you're provided this opportunity to respond differently to the stimuli you're provided and rewire your brain. Something that's really worked well for me is observing the feeling and not associating and identifying with it. Allow it to be something that I'm experiencing and not immediately putting meaning on it that is who I am. You define what the experience means to you. If you want to feel an emotion and associate it with a reason to hate yourself, you have free will and you will be able to do that, but it's going to suck. Instead, associate it with your healing. When you feel those emotions, just be like, okay, I'm healing. This is great. You have the ability to shift that perspective. It's literally in your hands at all moments of your day. A feeling was never supposed to be an instant switch. It's supposed to be slow. You know, if an experience that you had that caused a certain emotion, like maybe you can sit with that emotion for 2 seconds and then you freak out and you escape and you need to distract yourself. Try to sit with it for 10 seconds before you find an outlet, or maybe 30 seconds, and then eventually a minute. And soon enough, you'll realize that you have the mechanisms to cope and process with those emotions and not need to run away. Healing is also not a linear process. Sometimes you're gonna work through some gunk that you have in you, some like tough emotions, and you're gonna think, I'm free of them. And then they're gonna come back stronger. That is not proof that you failed, that you've done something wrong. It is evidence that you are making progress. And how you push through that is responding to it differently again, is acting differently. It proves to your body and your brain that that same stimuli doesn't have to have that same reaction, that fear that is associated with that feeling doesn't have to be the only truth that your body knows. Healing was not meant to be a pretty thing. It was meant to be messy. It was meant to be an extension, a stretch of your ability to love yourself and to accept yourself. A really important part of self-love and self-acceptance is releasing from the idea of perfectionism. It's not real. Your self-expression was never supposed to be perfect. Also, the definition that you have of perfect is what was fed to you when you were a child from hundreds of different people. You can't be all of those different conformities of perfect. That's not realistic. Just allow yourself to be you and to feel. And show yourself the patience that your 5-year-old self deserved all the time, but only got once in a while. That's why you're fucked up. It's okay. I think a really good test is to ask yourself if you can say, I love you to yourself and really mean it and not cringe. I think that's a really good test. I mean, our society glorified this image of this stoic, unfeeling man or woman as this idealized person who travels through life and is successful and gets shit done. But I think we all realize that yes, that person can exist, but I think sometimes you have to sacrifice a part of yourself and sacrifice the feeling from it. A lot of times I feel like those people have completely disconnected from their emotions and they're just in this space where they're just drifting through life. Things don't really have the same meaning because they were so afraid of feeling. And there's a lot of intensity in our lives. There's an insane amount of suffering and an incredible amount of beauty. And I think it's that polarity that makes wanting to feel very intimidating, yet so desirable. I really don't know what this channel is supposed to be about. For the last week and a half, I've been trying to create scripts for YouTube videos that were compact and informational that could help people. and it's sucked. It has not worked very well for me. I've tried to film a YouTube trailer 5 times over 4 days, and no, nothing. I think this is my own practice in releasing perfectionism and allowing myself to be authentic and not need to rely on and hide behind a script to express myself. It's been pretty interesting. But yeah, I've been wanting to share experiences and opinions that I have from my healing journey. And I think it's unjust of me not to share it when it doesn't cost me anything. Like, why gatekeep? Anyways, if any of this like resonated or was helpful to you, it would mean a ton if you subscribed, comment, and like. I'm gonna try to make some more videos like this. I don't really know what they're gonna be about. I'm gonna kind of follow my heart. Anyways, thank you so much for taking the time. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Peace and love.